So let's get started. I know some people will jump on. We're also live on Facebook as well, so anyone that's not on here, they will be able to see it. So thank you for coming on board today. As you know, we do this sort of every 4 weeks. I've got a big agenda for you today, and thanks to all of you for your feedback on what you want in these roundtables, but also helps me tailor the content that you want as well. So that I know that I'm heading in the right direction and making sure that you're getting a lot out of it as well. So the Mighty Mum movement is growing every single day. I have been talking to a lot of mums from all around Australia, like I was talking to mum in Canberra, Perth today. They'll be coming on board, as you've probably been seeing over the last couple of days. And I think we're heading in the right direction. And in terms of, I hear a common theme amongst the mums and in this group. So I know that once they're in this group that they will be looked after and they'll have the support network that ultimately they need. So based off the feedback, I want to talk about a couple of things today. At the back end of tonight, I'm going to talk about the February agenda. I've been working on with Courtney as well on how we believe we want to take February, but first and foremost, I'm going to tell you about how tonight's going to look. So first thing we'll talk about is mindset, and specifically tonight I'm going to talk about consistency. And consistency is not necessarily when you're feeling good, but consistency when you're feeling bad. So that's what I'll first talk about. Then I'm going to go into nutrition. I'm going to give you some practical examples. I've got food here about what you might think is good foods and what you might perceive as bad foods. And that's what I'm going to touch on. I'm going to touch a little bit on training, and then I'm going to talk into the February agenda. Cool? Awesome. All right. So I want to talk about the mindset stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about is consistency. So, a lot of you have been with me now for probably 6 months. Can you believe we've been together for 6 months when we started back in August? And usually at the 6-month mark, not only in programs, but gyms, but just anything you do, it starts to feel a little bit of a slump. And I can see that, I know with the ladies that have been with me for a while, that, it was exciting at the start. And then now it's like, Aaron, I don't want to do another agenda. Aaron, I don't want to do my weekly form. We start to stop doing the things that we did when we very first started. And that's totally understandable. And I predict these things to happen. So it's my job to ramp you back up. So, like I said, consistency is not seasonal. Okay. Consistency, I truly believe, is your ability to do something even when you don't feel like it and we don't feel motivated. And let's be honest, anyone can be consistent when you're feeling motivated, when you're feeling good, you've got a plan, you've just started a program. But ultimately, my job is to empower you that you want to be consistent, not 100% of the time, but above average on what you have normally done in the past. And maybe when I start talking about consistency, you might start to look back at your health and fitness journey and you go, yeah, I'm consistent when I do this, but when it comes when I'm stressed out or whatever, I stop being consistent, and that's my habit. So that's what I want to touch on tonight. And at any point, just wave out to me or chat in the chat box if you've got any questions so we can make it interactive. So first of all, consistency for me is something that is really important. From a young age, I had this insatiable need to grow that I continue to follow on in my adulthood. And as I got older, I wanted to learn every single day. I wanted to learn and grow through books, through videos, through people, whatever it was. Sandra, you got very shocked. Is everything good?
So I'm gonna have to figure it out. Oh,
yeah, you got me.
Nope.
You can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'll find you again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought something was wrong. Okay, so I had this insatiable growth from a very young age to grow, and as I got older, I wanted to read books, watch videos to learn. But I had this thought in my head, like, I don't know where to start, and I don't know where to begin to start learning. So I picked up this book called The Slight Edge. And it totally changed my life about 5 years ago. It taught, okay, well, if you can't read a book a day, or if you can't learn, or if you can't do something, what can you do? Because everything you do daily has a consequence, good or bad. And just like putting money into the bank and it building interest, at the end of the year, if you kept it in there, you would get a sum of money for, a reward for keeping your money in the bank. So it talks about, people say, it's okay, I'll start on Monday with exercise, or it's okay, I'll have that burger. And on the flip side of that as well is people like, well, I don't want to do that insignificant thing like 10 pages a day of a book. Or I don't want to do 10 minutes exercise because it's not going to do anything. So there's two sides of the story, but the compound effect of that is that, say, I've done it for 4 years now, and hey Aphrodite, hey Justine, is that reading 10 pages of a book a day, and I've done it every single day for the last 4 years. Every single year I read about 15 books. But if I had the mindset that 10 pages is insignificant, or I don't want to read a whole book, that I would never have read 15 books in a year. So the compound effect over a long term of the little things that you do and that you don't do has some sort of effect, and it's leading you to a habit, and a habit that you create when you're feeling motivated and when you're not feeling motivated. So these are some slight edge goals that I have set, and over the years I was like, what am I doing? I'm reading 10 pages, I'm not learning anything from it. But over 5 years now, I look back and go, wow, I'm so glad that I read 10 pages of a book every single day, because now I've learnt X, or I've learnt whatever. But if I did it and I stopped and I had this mindset that I had to read the books, I might as well not start, I wouldn't have got the knowledge that I had in the last couple of years. So other little things that I've done is like, I write 3 things that I'm grateful for every single day, and I've done that for the last 4 or 5 years. If you follow me closely, last year I posted to Instagram every single day because I wanted to see, the critics I would get, not caring what other people think, and I did that every single day, and I learned a lot from that. And another thing that I learned from was Courtney's grandfather, who's 94 years old, I'm pretty sure. And we had a bit of a chat that really, I guess, opened my eyes to me wanting to live to 94 years old. And he does a journal, and he does a journal for 20 to 30 years. He does a journal, end of each day, he does a journal, he just writes down a reflection of what he's done. It could be, I went to the bowling club, I did this, I did that. And then he looks back over the years and he can reflect at where he was and where he is now. So these are all the compound effects of things that really, very little, easy to do and easy not to do. And if you can relate it to exercise, you get to 9 p.m., you've had a stressful day at work and you didn't get your exercise in. And you go, what can I do? I could probably do 10 minutes of exercise. But in your head, you're like, there's no point. There's no point in doing that 10 minutes of exercise because it's not going to do anything. But if you look long-term and go, well, I do that 10 minutes now, and it's not the fact of doing the 10 minutes today, but it starts to rewire your brain. That when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, when you're tired, when you've had a big day, that your automatic response is to do something positive for you. So now in the long term, every time you're stressed, every time you're overwhelmed, rather than turning to food or turning to binge eating, binge watching Married at First Sight or anything like that. Yeah, I know you guys watch that. I watch it too. And turning to something that's more positive. So you're feeling these emotions. I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed. And your instinct is to go, well, I'm going to do this. And it's not a feeling, it's just the automatic response. And I look back at my life and I look back at all those little slight edge things that I did to bring me to a point where a lot of you knew the story about me, where I invested into a gym in Neutral Bay. It shut down recently because the director stole money, all that kind of stuff. And the only good thing that I could hold on to was the habits that I created. To do 3 things I'm grateful for every single day. To read 10 pages of a book every single day. To journal every single day. Because when you don't feel like, and trust me, I didn't feel like doing all those things, but it was just a natural habit. Whatever I was feeling was to turn to all these things over years and years of practice. And that's my encouragement to you ladies, because a lot of us act out on emotions. And trust me, I didn't want to do all these things, but it became automated. It was like, stress, this is what I do. Very stressed, this is still what I do. And I can hand on heart say that helped me recover a lot quicker in terms of a mindset, because I was fueling my mind with positive things. Is this making sense? Can anyone relate to this? I think we can all relate to this, right? And I guess who in this group, just wave out to me, where you've set a plan, maybe it was an 8-week challenge, 4-week challenge, whatever it is, you started the program and you were pumped up and you go, yeah, I'm going to exercise Monday. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to do my fitness pal here. And then you had one mishap. So you thought the plan wasn't good enough. You thought you were a bad person. You fell off the wagon. Who's ever felt like that? Justine, thank you for putting your hand up. Hello. Can you tell me a little bit about when you did that and when you set that plan and when you had one mishap or it didn't go to plan? Tell me a little bit about that.
I've done it many times over the years. I'm in my 40s, late 40s, so there's been plenty of times where I've started a new challenge, diet challenge, etc. And you just, you do a couple of weeks, you're all pumped. You most likely have a social function, it crashes and burns, and then you give up. Yeah.
And what was the feeling, say you set the plan, maybe you're 2 weeks in, you had a social function, you maybe ate too much, you drank too much. What was that feeling you had?
Well, that night you just feel really upset with yourself and obviously pretty full as well because your stomach wouldn't be used to it. And then you just feel upset with yourself, and then you can spiral into, being cranky and all giving up because your mentality is then changed and you think it's hopeless, you can't do it, you just put yourself down.
Yeah. And tell me, how long did it take you to jump back on the bandwagon, or what caused you to go, oh, wait, I need to do something?
Well, it'd probably be, if the kilos started piling on, if it had been, run into a couple of weeks or something like that, when I just suddenly look in the mirror and give myself a kick up the bum and just say, what are you doing? You need to reset your mind and get back onto it and eat healthy and realize that it makes you feel better. You think the chocolate makes you feel good, but in the long run it doesn't. It's just until I guess you get to a point where, well, for me, that I look in the mirror and just think, I feel horrible. I hate the way I look. I've got to do something.
And that's, I think, not just you, Justine, I think a lot of ladies can relate to this, is that the only time, so we set the plan, we hit a wall, and then we give up. And then when we start again is when we feel that pain point. When we feel that pain point that goes, oh, sugar, I don't look like I thought I looked. Or, clothes don't fit as they used to fit. And then they go, the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change. And all of a sudden you're like, I need to do something, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Thanks for sharing, Justine. So I think all ladies can relate to that. And that's just how human behavior is, right? So we can't, I guess we've got to acknowledge that it is normal, but we can do something. So I want you to walk away with a practical step from these sessions and knowing, when I hit that wall, what do I do, Aaron? So a practical step, first and foremost, is obviously managing your expectations around it. But say you're stressed, you're overwhelmed. A simple thing that I like to do is asking yourself one simple question, is what can I do? I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I've had a big day at work, the kids were yelling, whatever. My friend didn't like my photo on Facebook, whatever it is that sets you off. We all have triggers, right? So when you have that trigger, I want you to ask yourself, and you've had a bad day, you haven't eaten well, okay? And then you have an opportunity to exercise or whatever it is. You go, what can I do? Okay, I can't do the whole workout. It's 10 p.m. already. I could probably do 10 minutes. And you go, great, okay, I'll do that. So in that moment, rather than having to set a plan, hit the wall, wait till you hit the pain point till you start again, in the stressful moment, you ask yourself one simple question, what can I do? And then you implement that. You go, okay, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. Great. Next time you're stressed again, you go, oh, last time I did 10 push-ups, it was pretty easy. Now I'll do 20 push-ups. Like I said, it's not necessarily about the 20 push-ups, but it's about rewiring your brain that when you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, your instant response is to ask yourself that powerful question, what can I do? And therefore your response is to take action, because ultimately action gives you clarity, and action gives you clarity because even if you take wrong action, it tells you clarity on the right direction to head to. So he goes, yes, but if you just sit there and think, as we know, it gets worse and you start to put yourself down. You didn't do anything today. Oh, what's the point of doing 10 minutes of exercise? I'm not going to get anywhere. So the practical step, next time you hit that wall, that stressful day, because usually that day when you don't do anything is it becomes 2 days, becomes 4 days, 5 days, 1 week, until you finally have to make yourself go through putting on 5 kilos to go, okay, now let's pick myself up again. Is that practical, ladies? When you hit that point, one question, what can I do? And simply, it's your job to empower that simple thing. Make it so simple that it's ridiculous. It's like, can I do 10 I could probably do 10 push-ups. I'm just going to do it. And now you're forcing this habit. Does that make sense, ladies? Perfect. And can you relate to that when you go from a plan, what Justine said, you fall off and then you hit the pain point and then all of a sudden you're back on another program. So rather than putting yourself through that pain, it's to stop it in its tracks, because people think, okay, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm low on energy. I'm going to wait till I feel better. And as we know, that time never comes, or it comes at a point where it's not too late, but it's harder to get going again. So I want to train you that you can do it in the moment. All right, that's mindset. So what can I do? That's a simple practical step there. The next thing I want to talk about is nutrition. Okay, so a lot of you ladies said you want to talk about nutrition, and I obviously, hey Joe K, want to touch on it and talk a little bit about it, because our February agenda is a lot about food. So you'll need to know a lot about it. Okay, first and foremost, nutrition. We get you tracking your calories, okay, as you know, through MyFitnessPal. The reason I do this is I have ladies in the past that go, well, I've got PCOS, I've got thyroid problems, I've got this. And I get them to track MyFitnessPal and they're actually just under eating, or they were overeating because they weren't tracking their calories. So it's not, I can't get to the facts of someone. If you say you eat healthy, I don't know what that is. But I can look at MyFitnessPal and go, you're eating too much, you're under eating, it's black or white. I need you to, up your calories, up your protein, etc. First and foremost, that's the reason we do that. The second thing we do is, how do we determine your calories? So how does MyFitnessPal work out your calories? Okay, very simple, is your age, your height, your weight, and your TDEE. I just want to say that because it sounds cool. So TDEE is your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, so what do you burn each day? So the reason I get you to do steps is because you'll just see in MyFitnessPal when you filled it out, it says lightly active, sedentary, highly active, all those kind of things. From there, it determines your calories. And then if you set a current weight, goal weight, it determines your calorie deficit. So that's how you determine your calories. Now, the second thing of calories is how much you eat. I obviously set in our movement is 1.6 to 1.8 grams of protein. Now, whoever you've been in the past, they might say, just pump your protein up, eat as much as you can. In ladies specifically, I find they get stomach problems or indigestion problems with too much protein. So 1.6 to 1.8 times your body weight is generally where you want to sit. If you overeat that, you just don't want to, because it can start to cause some problems. And the rest coming from carbs and fats. And ultimately, we're tracking our calories, so we're hitting our calorie amount every single day. Now, you might hear, drop carbs, bad in sugar, fats are bad. Ultimately, weight loss is all about calories. So I don't know if you've used MyFitnessPal religiously, but if you use the barcode, you walk down in the shopping center, I was using the other day, it is the simplest thing you ever see. You put the barcode, you tap it, it has a serving size. I was literally going recording the other day. I was trying to, find bad calories and I couldn't find any, but you can track it, boom, straight away, it's uploaded. So when someone says MyFitnessPal is hard, you tell them they're lying. They just don't know the barcode. But the barcode is a really simple tool for you to use when you're in the shopping center to find out, is this good? I don't know. And it tells you right away. So another thing with nutrition is that you're going to get metabolic adaptions. Now, the question of metabolic adaptions is not a matter of if, but when you get it. What is a metabolic adaptation? Is pretty much a plateau. Okay, so essentially your body is an amazing machine and it becomes efficient at you being at a calorie deficit. So therefore you'll do a calorie deficit, you'll do training and you won't lose weight. Okay, you're properly tracking your calories. So ladies who've been here for a while, I put you on a diet break. Okay, so where other people, when they're at a calorie deficit and they hit a plateau, what they do is they undereat or they do more cardio, right? So they undereat even more, they do more cardio, and yeah, they'll probably lose a bit more weight, and they hit that plateau and they'll just undereat again, more cardio. What happens is that it fries your metabolism. Okay, so maybe your maintenance was 2,000 calories. Now you undereat at such an extended period of time, your maintenance calories comes down to 1,000. And then all of a sudden you start eating one food out of your diet, you have a pizza night, whatever it is, and you put on weight. So it's just quite common amongst ladies is they think I need to undereat and do, more cardio than ever. But ultimately it's having more calories, and that's why I put you on a diet break to restore your hormonal markers, your libido, your energy, your drive, your motivation. And you do that for 3 days at maintenance. And then you go again at a calorie deficit. So this is something that you can do long term. The worst thing you want to do, ladies, is when you hit a plateau is undereat. Trust me, because it takes time to rebuild your metabolism. And psychologically, it's quite weird to go, what? I have to eat more food in order to lose weight. But this is, science has proven this, and my ladies have done it, understand why we do it as well. And it's just good mentally as well to have a diet break. Who agrees with me with diet breaks? Surely everyone agrees. So, all right, I've got some foods for you today. So that's the protocol in the Mighty Mum movement. Now, I've got a Mars bar today. Who likes Mars bars? We all do. I'm probably going to eat this after. Okay, so this Mars bar, one Mars bar, 240 calories. 2 teaspoons of olive oil is also 240 calories. So you might go, oh, the Mars bar's bad. The Mars bar's bad. And then you go and put olive oil on your food, and I'm not making foods bad, but I want you to understand when it comes to weight loss, it's all about understanding your calories. One Mars bar, 240 calories. 2 spoons of olive oil, 240 calories, exactly the same. When it looks at weight loss, you're like, the Mars bar is unhealthy. But if you want to lose weight and you don't understand your calories, this is where you can go wrong. Now, 150 grams of mixed nuts. Okay, now this is something that we all pick at. Yeah, when you're hungry at nighttime, you go, I'm going to eat nuts because they're healthy. All right, so 150 grams of mixed nuts is 900 calories. Okay, so your calorie intake might be 1,500. You might be done for the day. And it's not that much. You could probably do this in a sitting without even noticing. Now, what is this equal to? 150 grams of mixed nuts equals to 9 Tim Tams. Roller's excited. She wants to eat Tim Tams. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm eating nuts, it's healthy. But if you eat 150 grams, which you may or may not, I'm just proving a point, all right? You're eating 9 Tim Tams. So you might as well eat the 9 Tim Tams. Some of you are going to go to the shops and buy Tim Tams now. So is this making sense? It's all about understanding your calories. So a lot of ladies that have been with me that have been at Vision, I know we tracked macros, right? So, and it was like, don't eat that, why eat that food? But ultimately it's a calorie game. And I understand that you need to get in your minerals, you need to get in vegetables, but you could be not losing weight because you think you're eating healthy, but you're overeating in your calories. All right, the next one's the best one. All right, so this is almonds, 45 grams. This is weighed out, so this is pretty much what it is. 45 grams of almonds, right? Who eats almonds? Nearly everyone, right? When you come home, you're hungry, you snack. 45 grams of almonds is 260 calories, okay? 45 grams of Smarties is 215 calories. So if you eat the almonds, 45 grams of Smarties, you're eating more calories with the almonds. So this is how important understanding your calories are, right? So I understand there's a healthy match, because if you obviously eat Smarties and you eat bad foods, yes, it's going to have a long-term effect. But It's all about a balanced diet. You can have the bad foods because you might think I'm eating healthy, I'm eating that, but you're overeating in the healthy and therefore not losing weight and therefore not getting your result. You all look shocked. Good. So, and there's a study done with someone that ate it clean. So ate the same thing every night, every day, okay? Steak, veggies, ate their foods. But what was proven, someone with a flexible diet had better gut health. So they had incorporated chocolate, but they still had their minerals, their vegetables, had a better gut health because your gut needs diversity. It doesn't need the same thing over and over again. But to put parameters around it is we track through MyFitnessPal. Because you're like, well, Aaron told me flexible dieting. Aaron told me about eating Smarties is better than almonds. No, I'm trying to prove a point, and I'm trying to tell you that ultimately it's about calories, and you need to put parameters, but have flexibility within those parameters. That was life-changing, wasn't it? I'm amazed myself. So that's nutrition tonight. And the next February agenda is really going to help you understand calories better. But I want you to pass this message on to people. When they're like, I'm eating really healthy, we'll say, well, how many calories are you eating today? I don't know. Well, how do you know, what's the amount you need to eat every single day in order to lose weight? Yeah, but I'm eating oats for breakfast. I'm eating eggs. I'm having vegetables. Yeah, great. But you could be eating 2,000 calories and that's why you're never going to lose weight. Does that make sense? So spread the message because a lot of people don't know. Now, third thing I want to talk about before we go into the February agenda is training. So how, like I said, you determine your calories is your TDEE, okay? So your total daily energy expenditure. Now, your energy output, so your steps, your activities. Now, when you first start a program, and this is something, is my fault, I want to explain to you is that you want to, your energy output, you want to keep it as low as possible when you very first start a program. So if you're doing 5,000 steps, aim for 10,000. And you hit that 10,000 mark, okay? So, and therefore your calories equal X. But as you know, we're going to hit metabolic adaptations, we're going to hit plateaus. If you're at 20,000 steps, we got nowhere to go to. I don't want you to go to 22,000 steps because it's unrealistic. So if you can lose weight on the least amount of energy output or your TDEE, good. Because then when you hit that plateau, every time you can build your exercise, which is going to help with you breaking through that plateau as well. So whether that's resetting, if you're doing, and I'm not saying it's not a bad thing to do your 20,000 steps, 15,000 steps, but this is where I would normally start someone and say, look, what are you doing now? 8,000, okay, let's do 10,000. Hit a plateau, let's go to 12 to 14, and then by then they've probably lost the weight they needed, and then we bring them back down to 10,000. So that's simple as it is. With training, it's all about energy output. Steps is the most underutilized thing ever because, like I said, it affects the calories that you have. And a lot of people just think I need to go train and do workouts, but ultimately it's the more you move, the more energy you burn, therefore the more weight you're going to lose. And I get you to do 3 to 4 workouts a week. I know you ladies like Justine and Sandra, you got F45, so you're getting in your weights. But I think weight training is the best thing for you, okay? And the reason for that is you imagine a truck in neutral and a car in neutral. What's going to burn more fuel is the truck. So the person that has more muscle is therefore going to burn more fuel because the body needs, is going to utilize more energy because you have more muscle, and therefore the more toned you're going to be. All right, it's the February agenda time. So February agenda, the name of the February agenda is the Foodie Feb for fat loss. So very simply, I've set out a calendar for every single day in February. So you got no excuse. Every single day, I've told you exactly what you need to do with your food. So I'm going to show you the calendar in 1 second. We're going to track our food through MyFitnessPal. Okay, so you'll be able to see what are the calories you need to hit, because ultimately we're looking for fat loss and during this month of February. You're going to do trainerize. You're going to weigh in on the Feb 4th, which is Monday, and then plus your photos, your 3 photos, forward, side, back, that only you and I will see. And on the last day of Feb, you're going to do photos, side, forward, back. MyFitnessPal, and what I'm going to do for the winner of this February agenda is give you a $400 HelloFresh voucher. So that will help you. I know I like HelloFresh. It can be delivered to your house, and that will be judged based off photos, based off engagement, based off weight loss, but a couple of things that I will judge over the month of February. So you want to see the calendar? All right, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, can you all see that? Yep. All right, so this is the February calendar starting next Monday. Everyone that's on here and everyone that's in the group is going to do this agenda. So as you can see on February 4th, it is weigh-in photos on Trainerize. Now, everything in blue is what you have to do, okay? All I asked for, last agenda was Move, Nourish, and Restore, is there's going to be a topic for the day. So you can see on Monday it says, what's for dinner? So I want you to get creative with this. I want you to open your eyes to some things that you may not have discovered with food, but it also puts at the forefront of your mind that you're constantly thinking about food for the month of February. So you'll see on Monday, it's what's for dinner. Tuesday, lunchtime. Wednesday, savory. Thursday, snack. Friday, colorful. Saturday, sweet. Sunday, hot, fruity, cold, hot, 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 healthy, out and about. Plate, I made this, starts with C, 2 of a kind, homemade, authentic, my pick-me-up, cookbook, 3, seasonal. All I ask for you is one photo, one video, whatever each day related to this topic. I'm going to send this to you guys. All I want you to do is to print it out, put it on your fridge so that every single day you know exactly what you need to do with food. You're going to track MyFitnessPal photo, weigh-in photo, start, end of week, and I put in everything there as well. So you'll see Wednesdays, live workout with Aaron. Jacob's going to be discussing about worry. Courtney's going to be doing a cooking show, and then back to a roundtable with me. On the weekends, you'll see it says weekly temple. Okay, so that's when you'll reflect on your week and go how well you did out of 5. How's that for an agenda? So it's a bit quirky, bit weird, whatever. My focus for February is I wanted to make it about food. I want to get you to understand calories better, but also that is at the forefront of your mind, because I feel like food, people always are good at training. A lot of people can do training because you don't have to think about it and you just have to rock up to the gym, or you just have to do it. With nutrition, it's like I need to think about it. I can't be bothered, so I'll go for the easiest option, or the option that's not necessarily going to help me. Like I said, at the end of the month, I'm going to give a $400 voucher to HelloFresh, who I think is best for over the month of February. Ladies, how was that tonight? I hope you got a lot out of that, and you're pumped for the next February agenda. And if you're challenged with food, it's a good thing. And let's get creative with it. But you're also going to see everyone else's ideas with food, which is going to help you as well. But we get to see what you're eating, and don't think about getting foods from Google, because I've seen them all. All right, ladies, I'm going to unmute you all just so we can say goodbye. All right, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.